Welcome to Hotline 21. I'm your host, Bruce Jackson, and we have a great show for you today. For those of you who are still in need of testing, I've got some calls over the week about free HIV and STD testing for our address. You want to go to the Gift House at 1309 South Kedzie. And our number's right there, 773-522-2420. And we are available 7 days out the week. So just come in. The tests are free. And we have a new addition. We'll be providing free solar. And you can give us a call and we'll tell you how that program works. But we have a great guest for you today, Ro Davis. And Ro Davis, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You've been doing some great things with regard to business in the community, helping people. And I want you to, tell us about it. At this point, I really want to just turn the show over to you. You're doing such great things, Tell us about the business and a little bit of why you decide to reach out to the community.
Well, first of all, Bruce, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to be on your show. It's been a long time since we've seen each other, and I'm glad to see that you are doing major things, but I wouldn't expect anything less. I am the co-founder and visionary of an organization called the New Life Movement. The New Life Movement is a answer, if you will, to the need for my generation. And when I say my generation, I'm talking about the hip-hop generation.
Absolutely.
To take the mantle of leadership to the next leg of our liberation as a people. I think that today we're beyond civil rights. I think that we're as civil with folks outside of our community as we can be with no money.
Right.
And so at this point, I believe it's about economic empowerment and political alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And so our programmatic thrust is a concept called BOP, Project 5000.
Okay.
So building our posterity is what the acronym stands for, BOP, which is an acronym that suggests that the children are not our future, but rather we are our children's future. Our children will grow into the visions and the infrastructure that we create for them. And so just to make it more plain and to make it practical, our vision is to create 5,000 safe, affordable homes in the greater Chicagoland area.
Incredible.
Yes, and so we're using home ownership as an anchor to economic development and empowerment. And in that spirit, we're calling all the African-American developers, contractors, and entrepreneurs to the table to help us to divide the risk and participate in this historic effort. Our goal is to arm those entrepreneurs with all the tools that they need in order to be more successful. And so an example of that would be our latest addition, which is the BOP Business Center. We just opened a small business incubator on the south side of Chicago in the Chatham area. Mm-hmm. And right now we are, set up as a 501c3. So we're a non-for-profit organization. And the goal there is to, create an environment where big ideas have the space to grow. As a community, we keep talking about the need to, take over the block, to reface the businesses in our community. But the question is, how do we do that without training? I mean, if you're like me, I'm a first-generation entrepreneur. My mother was a school teacher. My father worked for the post office. So they didn't hand down the principles of economics and sound business to me. And so I had to learn everything that I needed to know about being an entrepreneur on the battlefield. And so many of our businesses struggle, not because we don't have positive intentions or the willingness is not there. We just simply don't have the the training to be successful. You know, we're talking about $1 million ideas in Starbucks and McDonald's in the living room that we've turned into an office. So our goal is to take those ideas, take those visionaries, and bring Black progress into a common space where we could work together, lock arms, and begin to reface and retool our community, not just with an entrepreneur that is looking to extract the capital from our community, but an entrepreneur that's also conscious about redeveloping our community. And so that's the goal.
Wow. Are you all listening to this? Are you all listening to this? I just helped step back and let him just open the floodgates. Open the floodgates. For anybody out there listening and they want to be a part of this movement, how can they reach you? I hold this information towards the end of the show, but I want to get that information out as much as possible because in communities of color, this is desperately needed.
Absolutely.
And so we want to try to get this information out to you as quick and as fast as possible. So if you can share them, your information.
Yes, absolutely. So you can visit our website at BOP, B as in boy, O as in Oscar, P as in Paul, project5000.org. And so that's our website. Or you can visit us at our business center, which, and by the way, we have several business centers that we have planned to open up before the end of the first quarter. One on 79th off of Ashland, and we have another one targeted at the Roseland area. Our goal is to network our community. We want to create an infrastructure that lends itself to positive business development. So for those individuals out there who want to join what I believe will be one of the most powerful movements of our lifetime, I want to encourage you to come take a look at what we're doing online. Come visit us at the BOP Business Center and take a look at what we're doing up close.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and you hear so many people talk about bringing jobs. In fact, even right now, even the president is talking about bringing jobs. Even Obama talked about bringing jobs. I can't think of not one administration that we've ever had that didn't talk about bringing jobs. And while they put their best foot forward, for some reason it just doesn't trickle down to communities that are entrenched in poverty. And I've been, with the advent of Facebook and just social media, people, just these unsung heroes like yourself, who are doing just a phenomenal job, for some reason the magnifying glass wasn't placed on it. And I tell you, I see you on Facebook, and it's like my favorite channel. I mean, really, it's like my favorite channel. I get up in the morning. I said, you know what? I want to see what Ro Davis is doing today. I'll watch the news, but I want to see what Ro Davis is doing. I'm looking for it, and there you go. You say, hey, Ro Davis. I said, that's my guy. And I watch you, and you're doing such phenomenal things. And that there was a picture with, must have been about 30, 40, maybe 50 people, and you were in the center of it. Great shot, by the way. Tell me about that.
I believe you're referring to the shot that we had at our ribbon cutting ceremony of the BOP Business Center.
Okay.
And so the shot was, some of the business owners and leaders who came out to celebrate that historic event. And what is interesting, you said some things about job development and job creation, and I really want to just speak to that, if I could, for a moment.
Go ahead.
I think
this is your show today. This is your show. I want people to hear what you're doing. This is your show. Go ahead, speak to it.
Okay, I really want us as a community, and I'm talking about people that look like you and I think that we have to stop looking to our government to create jobs and opportunity for us. I think that logic is twisted. Black business is the answer to black unemployment. It doesn't make sense that we would be out of work with all the work that's got to be done in our community. I think that part of the reason why we struggle with employment, because somewhere along the lines, because we, and I like to say it like this, but we woke up, in slavery and out of slavery, where somebody provided jobs and was responsible for our well-being. And even though they took the physical shackles off of us, they kept the mental shackles on that had us to believe that it was somebody else's responsibility to create jobs and opportunity. And even if it is because of all the historic things that have been done to us, at the end of the day, I believe that we have a better chance changing our mindset than them changing theirs. And so our goal is to move beyond that. We have enough capital in our community. If we begin to mobilize, organize around that capital and apply it in the right direction, then we have the power to create all the jobs that we ever wanted. There's enough work in our community to keep us going for the next 100 years. Over the last 12 months, I think we did about 15 projects, construction related projects towards the 5,000 homes that we have envisioned that we will begin to transfer to our people to restore home ownership as an anchor to building a legacy. And inside of that effort, we had black folks working all over the city. I had black folks, young, old, experienced, inexperienced, working. And we didn't have to go and ask anybody to hire them or to do us a favor. We were able to make that decision because we're the ones who are commandeering change. And it made me to realize that everything that we want to do is just based on our willingness and our ability to bring this vision together. And we cannot depend on grant money. Let me say this as well. We're doing everything that we're doing with no grant money.
Wow.
So our business center, not that we don't want grants, we want grants, but we couldn't wait for somebody to grant us the ability to move in the wake of the violence that's happening in Chicago. We must give violence a job. We have to put the neighbor back in the hood. And the only way that we can do that is to create a foundation that will restore a sense of pride, a sense of ownership. And that's why home ownership is a key to it. But in the effort to rebuild the blighted communities, we can create the jobs and we can restore hope and possibilities to our people. And nobody granted us that right. So in the wake of Trump, and I know a lot of us are nervous about Trump, but our Trump card is our unity. That's the last card that we have yet to play. And so our goal was to get the engine going and to give us something that we could unify around.
Well, I've been hearing this for years, all through college, and you hit the nail right on the head. We African Americans represent just 12% of the population.
Absolutely.
Just 12% of the population, but we spend 1.1 trillion a year, and no other ethnic group spends that amount. And it's sad because many of if you go to the south side, the west side, those are blighted communities, and we could some kind of way galvanize those funds together and develop those communities. I mean, the government can only do so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, they only can do so much. And so at some point in time, we've had to pick up the mantle or the hammer and finish the rest.
Absolutely.
And tell me, I want to get on a soapbox because I just want to open the floodgates, man, and let it pour out. Just let it pour out. Right now, we're talking live to Ro Davis. If you're out there listening, you can call the number at the bottom of the screen. Get involved in this whole conversation. Find out what he's doing over there. This man is exploding. He's exploding. I know Chicago's got a lot of problems, got violence and everything. But this is something good that is happening in the hood. Connect with this man. He's a great guy, good friend of mine, just exploding. But I want to ask you this question, Roland. how has the community received what you've been doing? Tell me about the experiences that the people that you've experienced with those people.
Well, let me say that, and that's a very, very good question. You know, the community has been very receptive to what we're doing. The energy at the BOP Business Center that we've launched on 79th is incredible. You know, what's unique about what we've done, because I want you to get, I ran out of money a long time ago. You know, we're doing this with no grant money, no resources other than what we have been able to garner and what others have been willing to extend to us. But the powerful thing about it is that the momentum has not stopped. Because what I've realized in my own personal growth and development is that it's not resources that we need, it's resourcefulness that we need.
Absolutely.
And so having been in business for 25 plus years, bought and sold over 1,000 properties, I've learned how, as I would say, you know, to walk on water in the midst of a storm. Mm-hmm. And what I've realized is that sometimes we can get into a place where we're not walking on solid ground and everything around us appears to be collapsing. But what I've realized is that when our faith is strong, the physics don't matter. You know, every step that we take is on solid ground. Absolutely. And so the thing that's given me the ability to walk in the midst of our storm has been the individuals that look just like you and I. So despite the narrative that we're in Chicago and we just in the wild, wild west, I have had individuals from contractors, from other people in business, you know, individuals who have extended their time, their patience. In fact, we are a volunteer army. We have done everything that we're doing with a volunteer army. Now, it can't last like that forever. We must get to the point where we've got, you know, some real resources, and I believe that those resources are coming. But to answer your question, how has the community received us? With open arms. In fact, they have been our cushion, which is part of the reason why I have so much faith in us.
Wow, that's it's so refreshing. Now you have I've seen, you know, just from the videos that you have put out for the houses that you've done, you are employing guys that haven't been employed.
Absolutely.
You know, now tell me how does that work? If they want to get a job or work with your organization, how does that work?
Well, what we've been doing thus far, you know, our goal at the end of the day is to create an engine that would hire and speak to that dormant population, ex-offenders, mm-hmm. at-risk youth, veterans, and individuals that have been discarded and largely ignored. And so what we have done, we've created a concept called Busy Man. Mm-hmm. Now, Busy Man is both a general contractor, licensed, bonded, and insured in the city of Chicago, and we have a workforce development initiative. Great. So what we've done is work to marry those two concepts together to partner experienced journeymen and carpenters with individuals who may not have that experience, may not have the training. And we have been able to create that synergy. And the thing that has kept us going, in addition to the rehab projects that we've been able to create ourselves, has been individuals in the public who have said, I need you to build a wall, I need you to build this dormer, I need you to build this room, or we need you to lay carpet. So we're relying on public and private partnerships to create jobs that we can extend the opportunity for some of this labor that we have, that we've been able to mobilize into a workforce. Now, certainly some guys work out, some guys don't, but we absorb the burden when one of you, and I'm talking about those who are viewers who may be looking at this, that may have a job that you may need done, we will absorb whatever risk that's involved in hiring that population.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow. I mean, this is a heaven sent. I mean, heaven sent. If you're watching this right now, if you're watching this right now, and you want to be a part of it, you want to be a part of this movement, you want to learn a skill. I mean, learn a skill. Trade schools. I mean, this is something that you're offering them for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade schools are expensive, and here he is offering you under where you can become a journeyman and actually learn how to do a trade. And it doesn't matter if they're a felon.
Right. Oh no. We more so concerned. In fact, you know what I found is that people who have done their time, who are in a place where they really are ready to start over, they are some of the hardest working brothers that I have ever encountered. Certainly you have brothers who don't want to work, but I haven't had that experience with the brothers who are, out of incarceration, who are serious about making a change. They come to the job with humility, with a sincerity and a willingness to work. I believe that population really, and I'm not saying that those out there don't, haven't done whatever, but I just think that we need to give that population a chance.
Right, and it sounds like they realize that this is their second chance.
Absolutely.
This is their second breath, and they have to make it work. They realize they made a mistake, and it's great to have a program like yours in the community where they can go and get that second chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, but here's I ask you a personal question. How do you sleep at night, man?
I don't sleep at night.
You always moving around.
Right. I sleep. I don't keep a regular schedule. I wake up, I take naps, and I get back up and I keep working. I'm just tired of seeing us lose, Bruce. Seriously, I'm tired of seeing black people on the economic bottom. And I realize that it's time for us to bring the intellectual capital to the table, to bring the businessmen, to bring the businesswomen, people like us who have experience at implementing systems that attract capital and that can employ people, have to unite. This is an opportunity like none other. America bombs countries to get to where black America is. And that is at a point where it must be completely rebuilt. We could build somebody else's house, but why not build our own?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Now, women, they had this big women march. How many women are joining in, learning these trades and participating?
Well, we haven't had many women who have participated in the construction things, but we are, they have participated in other ways, and we're looking for more opportunities that can include them. My target audience has been black men because, our black men are suffering. We're an endangered species. And I just felt like, we had to extend, I call it the lion's paw of Judah, down to grab brothers, off the bottom because we need those brothers. The sisters been making out okay. They need help as well.
Right.
But they need a strong brother that can lock arms with them, and that has been our primary goal.
Now, I know at the BOP Center, you're doing another phase where if people needed space or something like that, you can provide space for them. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So for as low, we have a plan to fit every budget. So for as low as $25 a month, folks can get unlimited access to our common areas, have an environment where...
They're telling me to wrap it up.
Okay.
They're telling me to wrap it up. And so let me get this out. For those of you who want to come for testing, I know we just had a special program for Roe Davis, but there's the address, 1309 South Kedzie. And you can reach us at 773-522-2420. And you can also get us on the email at thegivehouse@sbcglobal.net. And Roe, I want to tell you, it was great having you. I want you to give me your email address as we go off the air, where they can reach you if they want to have any other questions.
Okay, so you can reach us at Okay. All right. Can I give my website? It's a .org. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for joining us, and be with us next month.
All right.